You keep on choosing them, their comforts, their needs, their interests, but who's choosing you? Sit down and let's talk about it. Hello guys, my name is Nazima. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about how you have to start choosing yourself over anyone else in this whole world. And I'm obviously not talking about neglecting everyone but yourself and always constantly thinking only about yourself and being super selfish. No, obviously I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the relationships when you are neglected, when you keep constantly choosing the person but that person doesn't choose you, when you constantly give and the other side never gives you back and you actually never receive anything. You are giving out your energy away, you are wasting your energy away, you are giving out all those things because honestly, we have been taught since we were children, since we were little, we have been taught to always say yes and to always sacrifice ourselves as women. I don't know why it became so normal that society romanticizes sacrifice, especially from women, and actually we as women tend to constantly feel guilty for saying no, and that's why we end up always saying yes, and by that actually betraying our own selves and letting other people cross our boundaries. Honestly, I am so tired of all those things, and that's why I decided to film this video. Why does it always happen that everyone is talking about how relationships and marriages are a two-person's work? However, at the end of the day, it's only women that are constantly sacrificing themselves, their needs, their comforts, their boundaries, their everything, and honestly, constantly, only women should go and find compromise and actually eventually say yes to whatever their man is saying. Like, I am so tired of this, and that's why I am so passionate filming this video. Obviously, I am observing a lot of situations like this. First of all, I have to mention how it feels to sacrifice yourself and everything that you want and everything that you need and your comfort. It feels like you are literally taking some part of yourself and throwing it into trash. Okay? Like, I am honestly right now so sick and tired of remembering how I have been taught, along with a lot of people, how saying yes is better when somebody is asking you for anything, for help, for anything, right? And saying no is actually embarrassing. And saying no is not right. And you will feel guilty if you say no. And I'm honestly tired of feeling guilty whenever I want to say no. And every time I do that, I have to consciously remind myself that that's fine. And I am tired of that. I want my subconscious mind to finally believe that this is normal, to say no and set boundaries. To say no when it doesn't fit your schedule. To say no when it doesn't meet your standards. To say no whenever you feel like you're being disrespected. Let's normalize saying no. Even if you feel guilty, normalize saying no, okay? Because every time you say yes when really you want to say no, when really you don't want to do that thing, you are actually giving away your power. You are actually giving away your energy. And at the end of the day, when there are so many times that you have said yes over no, you'll get so disgusted by your own self that eventually you will actually prove to your subconscious mind that you are a doormat. And you will eventually believe that you are a doormat. And it will be normal for you to let people walk all over you, to let people cross your boundaries, because you're nothing. And honestly, you will start feeling like that. You will start feeling like you're nothing. And you will let your partner treat you however he wants to treat you, and You will say okay, fine to everything, to disrespect, to cheating, to betrayal, to everything. Okay, now please sit down and let's think about this one thing. You have only one life, only one. You won't have 20, you won't have 3, you won't have 100, only one, okay? And your time on earth is limited. Someday there will come a day and you will never exist anymore. You will never be in your body, and you will never have your life, your parents, your family, your friends, your everything that you knew. And you are this person that God created. And you are not lower than the other person. You are not lower than anyone else in this whole world. Not anyone. You are not lower than your husband. You are not lower than your boyfriend, your partner, whatever, okay? And basically, I want you to ask yourself a question right now, or just answer mine. Are you ready to give out your whole life, the only one life that you have? You have no more. You have one. Are you ready to give this out to that person who doesn't know your value, who doesn't treat you normally, who doesn't even respect you? Are you ready to actually sacrifice yourself? Because time will pass, and you will finally get sick and tired of however you are behaving and all the disrespect that you're eating. And you will so badly regret whatever you did and wherever you went through. And I know that there are people that actually are scared to leave the relationship, are scared to like get divorced, right? But aren't you more scared that you will waste your whole life on that person who doesn't respect you, who will never make you happy? Aren't you scared of that more? Honestly, my tip here is that you need to start your plan of living. You have to start letting go of the version of you who normalized being like this, who normalized saying yes instead of no when you feel like that, who normalized letting people cross her boundaries. You need to start letting that version of you go. And when you do let go of that version of you, let go of the person who is disrespecting you. Let go of that person, and you will create space in your life for people and opportunities that align with your worth. Another situation is when you truly love a person and you don't want to leave because you love him. But that's not love, okay? And basically, the real strength comes to you when you find the courage to actually walk away from a person that you think you love with all your heart, but he constantly is not choosing you. He's not ever choosing you, but you're always choosing him, and you're always putting him above yourself and letting him disrespect you in any form and way. Look, when I was a teenager, and there were so many times when I myself betrayed myself by letting people be mean to me, and I would never put them in their place, and actually always promising myself something and then doing something else, right? I would like do that, and then obviously that was basically my subconscious mind doing all that work. Yes, because I've been taught to do that. I've been like raised by people saying that it's not okay to say no. You You don't have to have your boundaries. It's better to look good in other people's eyes because then they will not talk bad about you, and so on and so forth. And basically, my subconscious mind was convinced all those things were true without proof because that's what I've been taught, right? And that's why I acted that way. But after actually acting that way and treating myself poorly, I would feel so fucking bad. And honestly, from all those things, I would learn my bare minimum. I mean, in a sense that my bare minimum standards, okay? From those things, from all those situations, I started actually in my mind understanding what's okay and what's not. What's my minimum standard for people treating me and saying stuff to me and everything related to that. And obviously I started searching up videos and information on how a person just loves himself. And I found a lot of people on YouTube, a lot of information. Obviously, the internet is full of things. And honestly, nothing from that helped. Because when your subconscious mind is taught from the very beginning that something is true, it's very hard to reprogram it. Hard doesn't mean impossible. And basically, after so many failures, so many times that I've betrayed myself, I finally learned what's my bare minimum standard. And now when I find myself in the similar situations, I obviously know how to act because I've taught myself beforehand. I told myself, you know what, when somebody is saying to you something mean, something that doesn't make you comfortable, something that is just crossing your boundaries, you don't keep your mouth shut, girl. You don't do that, okay? And I actually, it really helped me. You can use my tip too. It really honestly helped me to start talking to my own subconscious mind. You have to do that too. It's actually so powerful. You can just sit down and put your hand on your head and then say, dear subconscious mind. And then you would go ahead and teach it whatever you want your subconscious mind to believe in. For example, I told my subconscious mind, you need to start believing that saying no is okay. You need to start believing that setting boundaries is so freakishly important and we can never go anywhere without them, okay? And after that, obviously, after teaching my subconscious mind new things, I started practicing them. And actually, guys, I know it might sound weird and it might sound crazy, but I would sit and ask God to put me in similar situations because I wanted myself to actually experience those situations again and get myself out of them as the best version of myself, as the version of myself that I want to become, that I've taught my subconscious mind to become, right? And honestly, after that, everything started going well because after one time, second time, okay, look guys, after one time, you put yourself in that kind of situation again and then you tell that person to shut the fuck up and you basically put them in their place, you will understand that it's not scary. It's not scary at all to speak up. It's not scary at all to protect yourself and your energy, but it is scary to afterwards sit in your bedroom, cry, and actually feeling like you yourself betrayed yourself, right? What I'm saying here is that you always have to start from defining your minimum standards for love, for friendships, for career, and so on, for how even your colleagues treat you. Every single relationship you have in your life. Of course, I started this video with marriages and partners, but it also concerns other people too, and especially friendships. I don't know why, but lately friendships became so meaningless in a way that people are not treating it like something important in their life. And then again, you need to start learning to love to be on your own. When you learn how to be on your own, when you love your own company, you will never settle for someone that is disrespectful towards you just because you're feeling lonely, just because you don't want to be alone, okay? Your company is the best thing ever. This is the best company you'll ever have in your entire life. Because honestly, when something goes wrong in your life, when anything goes wrong, At the end of the day, you have to go back to your own self. You have to go back and heal and actually ask yourself, hey, what did it come from? Why did I act this way? Why did I react this way? Why did I experience these emotions? And so on and so forth. Learn about yourself as much as you can. Learn all your patterns, behaviors, beliefs, because when the moment comes and very rude people ask you who the fuck you are, you will say, I know exactly who the fuck I am. Look, it's so important that you understand this. People are treating you the way you let them. And honestly, when I read that quote, I couldn't agree more. Even though it's so obvious, it's also not. Because if you're treating yourself like trash, if you're treating yourself like nothing, other people will do that too. They will see that you are treating yourself that way and they will think it's normal. It's normal to treat her that way, so basically, why not? And they will start doing that. And guess what? You will accept that. And that is what's really scary. So basically what I'm saying here is that your energy towards yourself will always come back to you in your reality, like in your everyday life, in your relationships, and everything that concerns your life. The universe will always mirror back your energy, and if you don't love yourself and if you think of yourself low, people will treat you the same way and you will let them. And honestly, it's so weird to me how I would constantly put myself down and always think I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not talented enough. When people who are less educated than me, have less skills than me, speak less languages than I speak, and they would actually be much more confident in themselves than me. They would always believe in themselves, they would chase their dreams, they would just be bold and never set back, never give up, always think of themselves high and so on. When contrary, I would think of myself small. I would say I'm not good enough to chase that dream. I'm not good enough. It's not going to work out for me, so I'm not going to do anything, and so on and so forth. Like, you get the point here, and you need to start, no matter who you are, no matter where you were born, no matter how you were raised, no matter how many degrees you have, no matter how talented or untalented you are, you need to start telling yourself that you are enough and start believing in yourself, actually. And it all comes from within. It all comes from inside you. It all comes from your self-talk. Whatever you constantly tell to yourself in your mind or out loud comes true. Okay, I've talked about this in my previous videos so many times because honestly, I believe that with all my heart, because I've seen that work in my life and in other people's lives, and I was constantly shocked how it works. Like, every single thing you say comes as your reality. So please watch the words that you speak, especially when you speak to your own self, especially when you talk about yourself. Start telling yourself that you are enough, that you are beautiful, that you are smart, that you can do this, that everything is possible for you, and actually start believing in yourself, because then you will stop feeling needy and you will stop begging other people to be in your life. So stop begging other people to be in your life and start choosing yourself every single time in every single situation. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it and I hope it was helpful for you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.